this video has intended for children. Viewing this recommended guide.
If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Mornings of Mischief. I'm your host, Stone Loki, and that's right, just improper. Cobra Kai never dies. Good morning, everyone. How is everyone out there doing this morning? We have got one hell of a show coming to you, but first, let me introduce my panel. We have the one and only Purple Valkyrie, half of Tag Team Valkyrie. Good morning, Purple.
Good morning.
We have the man who runs the bar called The Soup. We have Jedi Bill 797. Good morning, brother.
Good morning, Lucky.
We have the man that broadcasts the Latino slant. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, karate.
Miyagi-Do.
Going, Paulie.
Hi, domo, arigato. Hi.
Oh, arigato. Always look eye. Look eye. Always look eye. We have the crazy ass Mexican that is Mexican Iron Man. Good morning, Mexican Iron Wheel Man.
I just got back from the kitchen, and apparently tortillas does not exist in this dojo right now. We need to put that on the shopping list.
No, sensei. And we have a goddess of chaos, Eris of chaos. The battle angel is here. Good morning, Eris.
That's the word you're looking. That's the article that you're looking for right there. The goddess of chaos.
And good morning, Chris Persia, Philip A. Dimmick, Colin P. Smith, Psycho Dwarf 9. Lady Miss, the guardian of the void, is here. Dave Bob, sit room, Justin Proper. Good morning, everyone. Colin P. Smith, tell her off, eh? How is everybody doing out there this morning? It is Friday, and we are talking Cobra Kai. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, guys, what did you think from the opening moment? I was like, holy shit, this is going to be badass.
Well, for me at least, I actually did. I'd never even seen the original Karate Kid.
Really?
And so I actually watched that, then a little bit of 2, and then 1, 2, and 3 of Cobra Kai, like all in a row. So that was an experience.
Holy bananas. Really?
Oh.
Yes, really. That was pretty amazing. Holy shit. Let me tell you, I went from not even really knowing or giving a shit about the property to like, where's season 4? I require that right now. Can I have season 4, please?
Hey, boss, is today spoiler free, or we can talk about the plot?
No. Me and you talked Taco Tuesday. We talked about Cobra Kai, like in general, no spoilers. This is open battle. So by all means,
really?
drop whatever you want.
Okay, I absolutely am flabbergasted, blown away how they still were able to reach back and grab characters from the from the original movies, bring them forward, and plot them right in the damn ass fucking movie.
Yeah.
Yes. And not
And
only
and at a slight little nod at fucking Hollywood, I loved it when the Asian dude showed up. Hold on, what was his name?
Chosen.
Chozon.
Yes. Oh my
Yeah.
god, I loved it. I just hit the floor. Oh,
Yeah, he was great.
what
Everything
a
was great. Are you kidding me?
great
Yeah.
character reference and plot moment.
And you see them and they go, oh shit.
Yeah, well, that's okay. This is the guy that Miyagi stops Daniel, and he's like, Daniel, son, this no tournament, this for real.
Real.
And you're like, oh shit, it's him. He's back. This guy wanted to kill Daniel more than anything.
Right, this guy's gonna put his freaking right ankle through. He's gonna put it right through Danielson's little throat and punch a hole in it like a hole puncher.
Yeah, you thought he was gonna kill him in this too. You're just like, wait, no, hold on, hold on.
Exactly. Danielson, you need to gain a little weight. Go eat more tortillas and burritos.
When he did the nerve punches, I was like, oh shit. And then he honks him. Honk. He's like, no, I learned from you, Daniel-san. You karate master. I'm like, oh shit. Okay. All right. He just wanted to get a little honk back in Daniel's life.
Yeah, I like that he waited. He kept up this character all the way up until that moment, and then that's when he broke it. Like that was amazing.
Right, Eris, right? Like I just oh my god, that was amazing.
Beautiful. He was it's like, holy shit, he's gonna fucking murder him. He's not over this at all, which I can't blame him for not being over. And then he's just like, nah, fam, we're good.
No, I knew. Kumiko would have never, ever called him. Kumiko would have never called him if he was going to hurt Daniel. Kumiko loves Daniel.
Yes. Wasn't that just the sweetest little thing ever?
The letter, I was in tears.
It's like almost all the exes.
It reminds me of how strong and enduring, the love that Purple has for me.
That's all I thought when I saw.
That's what was on my mind.
At least the way I like to imagine it when I'm drinking late at night by myself.
Oh, honey, no, it is true.
That's better. That's the more appropriate thing.
Wow.
Hey, boss. One of the things you did on Tuesday, which was the best ever, one of the best recommendations you gave on Tuesday, was what you said. You said, listen, go watch at least season. I mean, I love what Eris did. That's like true champion. Eris is such a champion.
I am the binge watching champion. No one can be.
You are such a champion. Well, you're also a champion because when you do your reviews, you like to know your stuff. You do your research, and you've always been that way. I mean, you've been amazing as a reviewer, and I mean this with all sincerity. You've been an amazing reviewer now for over a year that we've had you on the channel. But boss, one of the great things that you did is you said, "Hey, look, if you haven't seen this thing, go watch Karate Kid 1 the movie, go watch Karate Kid 2 the movie, then go watch seasons 1 and 2 at a minimum. If not, watch all 3. If not, do what Eris did, which is really, commendable. But it does set you up, having that fresh perspective of what happens in the first 2 movies really, I think, makes this season 3 that much more enjoyable because there's so many subtle little references. It would be like watching season 2 without and then I agree with you. You got. I mean, I don't know what they've got in store for us, but I got to tell you, I'm blown away. I thought season 3 was going to suck. I didn't think it'd be as good as. I love season 2. I mean, I love season 1, but damn, what they did here, they did so many complex stuff. If only people at Star Wars and Star Trek could learn from what the hell they've done here.
No, every franchise. Are you kidding me? I was watching EFAT the other day, and I was reminded of how awful Toy Story 4 was. I was like, oh, that's another franchise that everyone forgot about. It's now dead. It's not.
You're right.
In Star Trek, it's so many other ones that are smaller franchises that they're dead now that you can't revive. And well, they will. They'll try to continue reviving it. But
hey, Eris, someone that saw these back to back, with the time span, because obviously everybody aged instantly for you, right? I'm gonna ask you a question. What were some of the things that you thought were really neat in this season that they pulled out and threw out at us? The content's really fresh.
It was flawless, how they went. It was like this was planned, which it wasn't. So it was like this was planned because they get everybody back, even Allie, which I don't even know how we haven't talked about that yet. How they got
we're talking
Allie
about
back.
Allie. That's my ex-girlfriend.
Oh, you're
Well,
serious?
before you guys talk about Allie, we have a $5 super chat from Psychodorf9 who says we're doing this without Gun Bunny and Shockwave. They want to binge it. Thank you so very much, Psychodorf9, and Skull. A Mexican Iron Man's cousin, Phantom Man, keeps the home fires burning. Thank you so very much, Psychodorp9, and thank you, Eris of Chaos, for the super sticker for the Yorkie kicking ass doing karate.
I had to.
Eris, you were saying?
About what? Do I not get a skull? Are you gonna cut my skull?
Exactly.
How dare you? That's a sexism, I think.
I'm ready.
Oh my gosh, the boss is being sexist?
No, you
are. No. Skull! So I want to go around the panel here really quick. Purple Valkyrie, did you expect this season to be this good?
Yes. Jumping off on the back of the first 2 seasons, they've been consistently excellent. So I had really high hopes for season 3, and I wasn't disappointed at all.
Jedi Bill.
Yeah, it was really good. I have a few issues with it, but overall, it was great.
Paulie.
Oh, he's getting more coffee.
Oh,
Wake up, Paulie, wake up.
Mexican Iron Man.
I was pleasantly surprised, and I was in shock because I don't know many properties at all. 2 things. I don't know many properties at all where the third version of anything stands up well, except for maybe Star Trek, that third movie. And then number 2 is that, and this is really interesting for me to see Eris's reaction, is that this is a different writing team than the guy who wrote the first movies. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
Really?
Yes, Eris.
Wow.
So the 3 guys who put together Cobra Kai are not
lifelong fans.
They're lifelong fans.
Wow.
It's literally these guys are literally if you took Bird of Prey and Dave Bob and maybe a couple other hardcore Star Trek guys, and you just watch them rewrite stuff 20 years later, which they would do a great job. I have no doubt. The guys in Valhalla, teamed up with Loki, and the 3 of them put something together that was Star Trek. They'd write an amazing series that I think would nail it, similar to Star Trek. Was it Star Trek Continues?
Yep.
What's his name? What's his name? I can't remember his name. God, what's his name? Oh my God, the Captain Kirk guy. Oh, good God.
The guy from the guy from Dragon Ball Super Bowl. Vic Mignogna.
Yes.
Totally.
Vic, so to me, Vic replicated Star Wars incredibly well and is the best iteration of continued Star Wars. To me, even better than Next Generation, because I think it took Next Generation until the 3rd season until they really hit it and got in the zone. But I'm going to tell you this much. These guys put together a badass 3rd season that feels more like Cobra Kai than even I think Vic made it feel like Star Trek. And I can't even believe I'm saying that. I'm sorry, I'll stop talking because I know it's Allie's turn right now, but I'd love to talk about the Allie scene. The way they set that up in season 2, and they dropped the hint. And I'm like, there's no way they're bringing this chick back. I couldn't think of any possible way that this would work. Anyway, go ahead, Eris.
Paulie's next.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yes, Loki. I was being yes.
What did you think about? Did you think it was going to be this good going into season 3?
Well, I'm a huge fan of Cobra Kai. I don't know if season 3 is my favorite. I think that the first couple episodes are really slow, kind of like predictable. It really hits its stride with the Okinawa episodes, and then at
Yes.
the end with the Alley episodes and the season finale.
yeah.
Fantastic. I think there was filler lulls for me, first couple episodes, and then the episode and a half in between Okinawa and when Alley comes, of course, right? It's like what? And so yeah, and then compared to the first two seasons, it's just like, but still enjoyable. I mean, don't get me wrong, even the filler episodes, way more
And Paul, I
watchable.
felt like the filler episodes served the similar function that The Mandalorian did in its season, whereby it had been so long since we'd seen season 2. To me, it gave me the feeling of like getting in a swimming pool that had been heated so that it feels comfortable without like throwing me, into Cobra Kai lore.
You know,
You know,
they
Easing
have
you back into
Because
it.
for me, a filler. I'm sorry, Purple. Go ahead.
Just saying, easing you back into it. Yeah, I know what you mean.
those are called hot tubs, by the way. Heated pools.
Eris, what did you think that it was going to take off like it did for season 3?
So I since Polly's actually mentioned it, I'm gonna have to agree. The first few episodes are slow, but I think there was a reason for that. Especially having watched like to the end. That last episode, I mean, oh my god, that was so action packed, and like everything else we got, I thought it did actually end up balancing it out. Because if we had just had nonstop action, especially for me coming off of immediately having watched season 2. Like that last episode and how it ends there is like you're just like, okay, hold on, I need to recover. I need a little
Karate
bit.
gangs.
Yeah, I need help. Hold on a second. For it to slow down for me was actually kind of flawless in a way. But I could see so I also have to remember that people didn't like do what I did. So if you waited, however, I don't know how long it was between season 2 and season 3, but say it was a year, yeah, that would seem extremely slow to start off.
I
Same
agree
thing.
because the way it ends with him, speaking as someone from the wheelchair community,
Oh, okay. Continue.
how it ends and he falls and he can't walk and
Oh.
shit. I thought the slow start for season 3 reminded us of how in Valhalla, Mission Iron Man is hobbling and wheeling his way to leadership again in the community.
Well, they teased you. They teased you. They teased you at the end of 2 about Allie. They teased you going in that she was going to be Miguel's doctor. You see that blonde girl from behind, and then she turns and it's not Allie, and you're like, okay. And then you get the Allie episode.
Mhm.
Then you get the mom, and I'm like, who the hell is this chick?
Yeah,
I'm here, and she's walking through the house talking. And you're like, who the hell is this? And then you see Allie, and you're like, oh shit, that's her mom, and she's back, and shit's gonna go sideways between Daniel and Johnny.
Yeah.
But you didn't know it was gonna go sideways like it did.
Yeah, you were like, oh no.
They kept that surprise. For me, I knew the season was going to be good. I have faith in these guys now. I've gotten through 2 seasons of kick-ass show that honors the past, that honors what came before it, that honors those original movies, yet has the sense to go, we're going to do something new at the same time. It's not just going to be, oh my God, this is stunning, brave, and edgy. It's we're going to have some kick-ass new shit while honoring the past at the same time. Yes, Hollywood, this is possible. This is what you get when people that love the IP have control of the IP.
I mean, for modern day, this is edgy. Sadly, being like loving an IP and like giving it its proper, not send off, but it's like it's due. It's due. It's respect that it's earned from being so beloved for all these years. Yeah, that is edgy. Actually, that's not what all the cool kids are doing, right? That's the rebellious style, which is very odd.
Holy moly! To see Danielson go from like fatherless, raised by his mom, single kid, to like family man. Ooh, that's innovative, cutting edge.
There's only so much you can do with all these great characters, and unfortunately, the mom, we got to see her in episode 1, season 1. She's such a fantastic character from the old movies. I would have loved to have seen her back a little bit. And then the Aisha was written out within 2 lines of the episode.
What the hell's up with that?
I liked Aisha. She's good. She's good. Awesome girl. Like,
Yeah, that was a lame cut. That was a lame cut.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. But I don't know what was happening either behind the scenes. That was obviously a behind the scenes. Yeah, we couldn't get her back. Here's the throwaway lines. Anyway, but at least they acknowledge her. How many times have you watched shows where it's like, oh, that character, that one? Yeah. Anyway.
That's a good point, because I think there must have been something behind scenes that came up or something, because that's true. That didn't make any sense, Paulie. That's true. That's a very good observation.
Well, I mean, and that being said, I mean, they're like, again, it's like very slight, nitpicking, what I loved is that our characters that we love, new and old, right, Loki? The new characters and the old legends. Every episode, they kept getting challenges thrown at them, and alliances coming together, breaking.
One of the things I talked about with Polly offline, this was yesterday, and I just happened to be talking about stuff related to the channel. By the way, everybody, real quick, sorry to do this, but we're Latinos Land is no longer Thursdays; it's now Tuesdays. Great show, Paulie. But one of the things that we're talking about is Paulie, by the way, is a karate. Is a martial arts master, and he's been instructing, and he's also been exposed to a variety of forms. And we were talking about the Karate Kid movie that came out in 2010, and how that was not true at all to the IP, and how it really was based in China and Kung Fu. And I'm actually curious to ask Paulie what he thought about, being a martial arts master, how we thought about the treatment of the subject material, the matter, and that kind of stuff as it's gone through 3 seasons.
And before we get too far away from it, I'm not interrupting you, Paulie. Aisha will be back for season 4. The writers said no, we couldn't find a place for her in season 3, but she will be back.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
It was not her choice. It was not a breakup with her and the directors. It was, we can't find a place for this peacemaker in this war between Cobra Kai.
You're right.
And
actually.
Yeah.
Miyagi-Do.
Because what's her name? Tori,
fucking bitch.
Yeah. Tori became. You know what? Yeah, but she was a complicated biatch.
I agree. Yeah, she
was fantastic. Wow.
I can see this tournament coming in season 4, and she's going to be back. Go ahead, Paulie. Go ahead.
With what?
He's laughing at me. Don't worry about it.
Well, I mean, there's so many great characters, Loki. There's so many great characters. I
was going to ask Paul. I was trying to get to the fact, like, you're a martial arts master. How did you feel about the fight scenes, the treatment of the subject matter being karate, and how it looked and how it was handled, and the believability of someone who actually comes from that universe?
Actually, talking to one of my black belt teachers, we were talking about this season how sloppy the actual karate choreography was. It was pretty bad.
Really?
But we didn't care. It's just entertaining. It's just that we're like, now you mentioned Jackie Chan's Karate Kid, which Jackie Chan was amazing in.
Yes, Jackie didn't do bad at all in that movie. It was everybody else. Yeah, Jackie did great. That's the only reason why I watched that movie was because of Jackie Chan. Because I'm like old school, man. I went and saw Rumble in the Bronx when it came out. Legend of Drunken Master. That was back when I was still in martial arts. And to see Jackie doing all this shit and like, he did it all in stunts, and then you see at the end of his movies where he's like jumping from a building to another fucking building. He like shatters his ankle and he's still hobbling around on the cast doing the movie. And you're like, son of a bitch, this guy is crazy.
Yeah. So the Kung Fu and Jackie's performance and his flawed character being a drunk, I mean, fantastic. But the movie was awful. And it wasn't karate. They were in China.
No, it's Kung Fu.
Yeah, it's Kung Fu. They should have just changed it to Kung Fu Kid. Kung Fu Master.
What I could say most about the series, I like the fact that I like William Zapka, Johnny Lawrence's character, and how you really get to learn a lot about him. And I think him and Daniel Russo's Ralph Macchio's character, they could actually be the best of friends. And I have a feeling sense that the karate that they all know could be the same form of karate. I'm getting this weird vibe from the show.
Well,
And what I didn't like about those filler episodes you were talking about was with getting to know the bad guy, Kyle Kreese. Why do we want to know him? Why do we want to waste time on the bad guy?
Do you know
You're
why we did?
you're not the only one who felt that way, Bill. I don't want to know. I don't want to know about him. He's
Gareth?
evil. He's a bad guy.
But do you know why they
Gareth?
showed that?
Tell him, Eris. Tell him,
To
girl.
show the birth of Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
That is literally why they showed that. Not to make him sympathetic, not to show his backstory, but to show how Cobra Kai came into existence, because that's all that this season was about to Kreese.
Then show a big banner that says 1963, the birth of Cobra Kai. Don't make me think. Don't make me think for 6 episodes that you're trying to make me feel sympathy for this evil fuck that likes to strangle teenage kids. Don't make me no.
Yes.
Don't make me think that's what you're doing. At the end, go, oh, we did all this to show you the birth of Cobra Kai. Kiss my ass. No. For 6 episodes, you made me think that this is the direction you're going, that you want me to feel sorry for this fuck that I'm not going to feel sorry for.
Did you feel sorry for him?
I already know. I
Boss.
already know from Karate Kid 3 that he saves John Silva, in Vietnam, and Silva finances Cobra Kai. That he puts the money up. Go ahead.
Boss. But that would be like all of a sudden one day you show up at Valhalla and you got this Mexican guy and he's selling tacos and he's selling thongs. You want to see the lead up with Mexican Iron Man as to why the thong thing is so important and the tacos are so important.
No, I don't need that origin story, actually. I don't need to know why thongs became such an important thing in your life. The tacos, yes, I can roll with the tacos. Thongs,
okay.
Loki, we had to get a little humanity from him and how it was killed in Vietnam and how he had to kill it to survive. That in a snake pit. I mean, that's dope, man. That was cool.
Yes.
A literal snake pit.
Was fine.
Yeah, but they weren't venomous. They were mostly constrictors.
What were you saying, Purple?
All right, Bill.
Nitpicky Bill.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Purple?
I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Okay.
Hey, Purple, I got a question for you. What did you think when Allie revealed herself?
I think they did it really well. It's like you say, they were kind of teasing that it was the Doctor, and then she turns around and it isn't. I would have liked to see a little bit more of her, but obviously we're going to see more of her in season 4. But I did like the kind of the dynamic between her and Johnny as well.
Yeah, it was
I thought
nice.
that was handled really well.
You know, she does not. The actress that plays her. I've heard multiple times she's one of those people that only does the programming she wants. She is not under contract by a major studio. They tried to get her back multiple times to do a sequel to Adventures in Babysitting, and she was like, "Hell no, I'm never doing anything like that ever again." I enjoyed it while I was there, but it's done. It's over. I'm not going back to it. She would not come back to be in like a 5-minute role at the beginning of the Karate Kid.
Yeah.
She wouldn't. She has refused roles before, so for her to be in this was like her wanting to be in this. This wasn't, we're going to throw a whole bunch of money at you, and she accepted.
She's the primary reason why there wasn't a The Saint 2, which by the way was
Yes,
became a very much a cult classic, popular film.
with
It
Val
did do
Kilmer.
super well at the box office,
she
but
won the Academy Award, right? I mean, after that, she was like, I'm
Can
not
you
a
blame
slave
her for
anymore.
wanting to be in this? I wanted to be in this.
But Purple, as far as growing up in the UK, the Karate Kid franchise and everything, how big is it, or is it over there?
It's not as big as it is over in the US. I mean, obviously, it's a classic. You know, everyone knows Karate Kid, the movies. But I think the TV series has been a bit of a slow burn over here, especially since it was on YouTube to begin with, and now it's on Netflix. I think now that it's on Netflix, it's built up speed. But before, there wasn't many people that I knew that actually watched it.
see, to me, Karate Kid is a core part of growing up for at least one, if not two generations. It's a very core aspect of Americana, similar to the vibe that I get that Doctor Who is for at least one or two generations in the UK, where it's very much a cultural part of of the fabric. The way that people react to it. That are British friends of mine. Would you agree with that a little bit, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. I think also it's an age thing. I think if you grew up at the time of the 80s, and I remember guy friends that I had, and my cousins and my brothers, they all saw these films and they wanted to do karate.
What guy friends? What other guy friends? What are you talking about?
And Lady Miss with a $5 super chat. Great show, but now off to work. Conan and everyone have a great day. Score! You guys keep the home fires burning bright in Valhalla. And you know what? If you don't think that when Loki was a little Loki, Loki didn't get picked on.
A loquito?
A little Loquito. I didn't get picked on all the time. You can keep dreaming. I was the shortest, biggest kid in school, and I got picked on all the time. And this was like the movie that this was the movie you watched. It was like you got picked on, you watched Karate Kid, you watched Mr. Miyagi teaching Daniel-san. And I got introduced to Bushiban Karate Do when I was 8 years old. And I was in that till I was 16. I had a sensei, Master Zulfi. That's what we called him, was Master Zulfi. He was a 3-time world karate champion. And you use this as defense. You don't use this to be a dick. You don't act arrogant. I remember we had a teenager that was really arrogant. Anytime he sparred with anybody, he was very arrogant. And we did a workup to a tournament we were going to go to. And my sensei literally broke his nose. He came right out at the beginning of this sparring match and broke his nose just to teach him a lesson. He got disqualified in his own dojo to teach this kid a lesson. Hey, keep the arrogance in check. There's always someone better than yourself. I mean, he apologized. He wasn't a dick about it at all. He's like, I apologize, but this is why I did this. And he did it in front of the whole class. And he told him, there's always someone more arrogant and more aggressive than you are. So keep it in check. This is why we do this. Keep yourself measured, keep yourself in balance, keep yourself calm, keep yourself cool, unless you are doing a kata, in which then it's time to go crazy and act like a complete maniac because you get the judge's attention. It was one of those weird deals. But karate was in my life for years. And this movie was in my life for years. And to see it come back this way, to see it honored. What do you guys think about how they have honored the past?
Well, they do it so effortlessly. Example, the episode, I think it's 2 or 3, but Sam is obviously, Samantha is obviously trying to move on. and going back to school, but she's got a lot of anger, a lot of aggression, and she's having hard times with the principal. They have that fight out in the soccer field. Sound familiar?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And what did Daniel say when he gets
The
kicked
school
off the field?
sucks, man. Sucks. Yep.
What did Samantha say when she
This
hit
school
the locker
sucks.
room?
This school sucks.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
She's so much like her dad. It's incredible.
I just loved it. Yeah. Yeah. So those are great. They the way they do that without being, just cheeky about it. It's just like, man, these guys are the writers are just, on all cylinders as far as just, a great product.
Effing brilliant. Yeah. Purple, what do you think about them pulling from the past the way they do?
I think they've interwoven what's gone before in the films beautifully. And like Paulie said, it's just those little things that you pick up on that if you hadn't watched the films, it doesn't mean anything to you. But it's like, oh my God, you guys are really paying attention. And the way they've kind of integrated the new characters with the old characters. I really love the ongoing rivalry / friendship between Johnny and Daniel. I'd love that there's this kind of growing but begrudging respect between the two of them, and then it kind of goes and then it comes back again, depending on what's going on. And I do like that, even though they kind of gave us more backstory on Kreese than we really needed with all the flashbacks. I do like the build-up that he was given. I do like that he had a lot more kind of screen time this time, and it just shows what a unpleasant character he actually is.
I liked the episode where Johnny takes Miguel to the rock concert, and Dean Snyder is playing. He even played some old Twisted Sister songs. He looks much different without makeup.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And older.
Hey, there's more 80s music in this show than there was in Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
there was.
When you hear that, like Paulie was talking about the soccer, what happened on the soccer field where Daniel's like, this school sucks. They're playing that same music. You're in the one with Sam. It's like dun 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 dun, dun. And you're like, holy shit, they're using all the music. And that's the way it's been since season 1, that karate championship, man. While they open it up with the 84 All Valley, they're using the same damn dun 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 dun. When Miyagi's like using the heel technique, when he's doing the rub technique when he works on Daniel's leg, it's the same music. They're using the same music. They're using the same bands. They're using it's the same style. And it fits perfectly.
Yep.
Whether you're watching it for the first time, whether you've never seen the movie, whether you've seen the movie 1,000 times, you can appreciate the soundtrack to this show. No matter what season you're watching, you can appreciate the soundtrack to this show. You're like, holy shit, that is badass music. It's like Miguel in season 1, and he was like, hey, Sensei, I looked up AC/DC. That's badass. They rock. Yeah, no shit, kid. No shit, AC/DC rocks. You're just figuring that out now. All the music in this show rocks. It's perfect.
Great air for music. No, lies behind that.
The journey of being a sensei and taking that responsibility on and helping Miguel literally get back on his feet. That was a wonderful little moment where he said, he looks at Miguel's foot just tapping into the music, and he's like, hey, check it out. Yeah, that was cool.
I think there's no way in the beginning of this series that Johnny could stand with Daniel as a sensei. But now, after everything that's happened, after everything Johnny's experienced, to see that at the end of this season, to see him, it's like, that Miyagi-Do is going to be the center of defense, of balance, and it's not Cobra Kai anymore. Eagle Fang Karate is going to be the offense. It's like you got two coaches. You got your offensive coach and you've got your defensive coach. And I love that idea. Two senseis, two styles coming together to make something new.
Yeah, and I only hate Kreese more. I just like every time he's on screen, I'm just like, God, man. Like, but I do love because my boy Hawk is back. He's not an asshole anymore. He fucking redeemed himself. I was like, thank you, because I loved him for the first season. I was just like, yes, that's how you do it. That's how you stand up and you make yourself, you kind of stand up to to these people who have been like bullying you in a way that you're just giving them the middle finger without even having to throw a punch, right? And like I just respect the hell out of that. The tattoo was a bit questionable at first, but I like it. I like the Grim Reaper thing, I'm digging that. And it's just like I love Hawk, and just watching him just become this colossal asshole was awful. And that last episode, I was just like screaming. I was like, yes, thank you.
Favorite. Speaking of that, favorite character. We'll go back around the panel before we give our final thoughts. Favorite character, Purple.
I really like Sam's journey through this season. I like that she kind of got knocked back because of all this that was going on with Tori, but she rallied herself, and by the end of the season, she just kind of asserts herself and even looks her in the eye and says, "I'm not afraid of you." Even though right at the beginning she has that horrible nightmare.
Yeah, the PTSD was like intense.
Bill.
I love Johnny Lawrence. I mean, his character is so relatable. I'm so relatable to his character right now. Digging it.
Paulie.
Danielson.
Mexican Iron Man.
Johnny.
Really, I would have thought Miguel because representation.
Oh God. What does that mean, Eris?
Wait. Due to skin color,
What?
or due
He's
to
a
the ability
Hispanic
to
in a
walk?
wheelchair. Like,
Wow.
Oh, both.
You know what?
Wow.
I'm not gonna say what I'm really
Paulie,
thinking.
will you
Eris,
defend
right?
Say it, Paulie. Paulie, say it.
please say it.
Paulie.
I'm messing with him. I've been wanting to say that all stream.
That's what like Hollywood liberals do, man. I thought
Yeah, I
your
know, right?
character would be. Shouldn't you like the Latino character, Mexican Iron Man? You really should, because that's in there for representation.
Yeah, he has the same skin color, and he's in a wheelchair like you. Shouldn't you just love him because he looks and is in your position right now?
You have the same plight, right? You have the same plight.
That's the only judgment you need on a character, not like who they are and all. So like, that doesn't matter.
Purple, they're making fun of me.
Oh.
Yes, they are, honey.
I actually was defending you.
Yeah, just rest your
Yes,
head on
thank
her
you, Paulie.
shoulder.
Paulie, thank you for your
She'll
leadership,
help
my
you.
brother.
It's all right.
Thank you, Paulie.
Latino leadership here on.
Eris, favorite character from this season.
Ooh. From this season?
Yeah.
See, I liked Tori when she first started, and now obviously I hate her. It's hard to pick one, but I have to say I love Hawkman. I really do. I would not have picked him without the last episode, obviously, because he was really pissing me off. Him breaking Dimitri's arm was like, what is wrong with you? What are you doing? No! To see them going from best friends in season 1 and then how they were by like the mid-season, it was awful. I mean, I think we've all had our fair share of friendships, end pretty badly, but to see them like redeem, and it's like, oh yes, not only are they like friends now, but they're kicking ass together. They've grown so much from what I first saw in season 1, and I think I might have to agree. Like Hawk and Dimitri are my two favorite characters this season, just because of their character journey is amazing.
And Dimitri got the hot chick. So
Yeah,
Yasmin. Yes, he got Yasmin. Ugh.
yeah. Like in
I
season
don't know
one.
if I'm happy for him or not.
Well, you know what? I think she's on her own redemption. I think her little front wedgie incident really kind of put her in a spot where she, reverse Uno card, and she became what she was picking on, right? She became the kid nobody wanted to associate with, and all of a sudden, somebody who had pretty much been riding out their school days by their looks, which is a lot of what I think all of us know the popular kids kind of did, especially the girls in school. It's like she all of a sudden was like, okay, that's not enough anymore. I have to actually like be a decent person now. And it actually benefited her and changed her life in a good way. So I think
she's not a mean girl anymore.
Yeah, she isn't, because she doesn't have any power that was stripped of her, and now she's kind of had her own redemption. There's a lot. This whole series is redemption, a redemption arc, and who doesn't love an underdog? Who doesn't love that?
It's also going into a dark place. I'm gonna cheat. Eric's talking about two people. I am gonna cheat here because I'm gonna pick two. I've got to pick two. I've got to pick two.
I know who you're gonna pick.
It's gonna be really. Who am I gonna pick?
Johnny and Danny.
No. Miguel and Tori. It's what? Miguel and Tori. Yeah. I loved how dark. Okay, look, I loved how what a dark place Tori went into. Okay, Tori's always been a bitch, but she really went into this dark place. And when Kreese took care of that landlord for her,
oh god,
it's like he earned her. She will fight and die for Cobra Kai now. He has earned her loyalty. Unless he somehow fucks it up big time, she will always be loyal to Cobra Kai now. To the death, she will fight. Yeah. And she scared the shit out of Sam so many times in this season. And then you've got Miguel, who is like, even though I got hurt because I showed mercy, I am not going to fall back into that pit of snakes. I am not going to travel back into that hatred and that dark place. I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to be better for it. And he is. And I think the dark place that Tori went to is the exact opposite of where Miguel went to. Mm-hmm. Where Tori went one way, Miguel went the other way. And that's why I had to pick both. I've got to pick both because I think that the journey for both of them was complete in this season.
Hey, Loki.
Yeah.
Can you get a date for Mexican Iron Man with Miguel's mom? Because she's pretty cool.
Oh hell yeah.
She was pretty awesome.
You mean the grandma, right? I think.
Oh my god.
No, not Miguel's grandma. No.
Sure? Because I think she'd be down. Just
the one that
wow.
Wow.
I thought you wanted to get with purple. Hey, I'm just looking out. Sorry.
That's how you look out.
I tried to read the room.
Eris, you're so Tory when you look out for people.
Yeah, she's so Tory.
That's why I hate her.
Thanks for hooking it up, Eris. That was awesome. I appreciate it big time.
No problem. Always looking out.
Awesome. Let me go get some milk thistle for that date.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Wow.
Somebody we haven't talked about is Robbie.
Robbie being in jail. Robbie's in jail.
Smaller role this season, but I don't think anybody's surprised.
Some of that wasn't realistic either. For someone who worked in the prison industry, some of that wasn't realistic. There was like, oh, I'm going to beat this guy's ass and while no one's watching. Not in a community room. Sorry, that shit doesn't happen. They wait until they are in cells. What they'll do is they'll have like a little cell party for somebody. That way no one can watch. The cameras aren't on. There's cameras everywhere in a prison. So what they'll do is they'll find a nice little quiet place like the freezer in the kitchen, or they'll find a cell where they can like group up, bunch up, and get someone in a cell. And then they do what's called a heart check. And what a heart check is we're going to see if you're a little bitch or you're actually going to stand up and defend yourself. like a man. And those who, don't, those who are little bitch and try and cry and talk their way out of it, they become someone's bitch. Those who fight and stand up don't get to be someone's bitch unless they get sold out as being a bitch, and then then they become someone's bitch. But there are rules. There are rules when you go to prison. You don't accept anything. Nothing's free. Nothing. Absolutely nothing is. It doesn't matter whether it's something that you get fed at the lunch table. It doesn't matter if it's something that someone didn't eat. Nothing is free. If someone throws something in the garbage and you get it out, you still owe them something for it. And if you can't pay that back, well, that's when you become someone's bitch. So,
Well,
Is that what happened with Lars and Spin? Is that why they still hear about Valhalla?
no.
Oh,
well, Loki, that goes back to the filler because it's like, they went to that silly, conflict like at least 3 times with that other guy. And it's like, all right, I get it. Just give me one scene and move on. But it was
That
just
is
like,
true. No, you're right.
and it was really silly. Just like you said, it was, that's one of the criticisms is that, there are some very flat characters in this, as far as supporting characters.
Yeah.
You could even say that about, up until this season, Robbie's mom and who was the other character? I think was pretty flat. Shoot.
Hell, Robbie was flat this season.
Yeah, Robbie
Right,
was
yeah.
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 He
agreed.
pretty much phoned it in. I thought the whole season he phoned in. Even when he was with Kreese and he turned around and he's just like, I'm with him now. And you're like, dude, where was the passion that you had in season 1? I mean, you had all this passion. I want to learn karate. And
well, I think they actually treated him well because if you think about the journey that he goes on, he was a tool. He was a manipulative tool or a plot tool for what happens between Daniel's son and the whole relationship with Johnny and the kid in the middle and who's really my dad and that kind of whole thing. I mean, because once that kind of clips out at the end of season 2, he's going to be in the quandary because the story now becomes about all these other things too. I'm quite sure that he's going to come back and it's going to recircle. I mean, I'm not going to say the extent it's like Alicia, but he's going to be again in the core group of 2, 3, or 4. But there's just too much going on this season that that's what I think.
so, final thoughts, ratings. We'll go around the panel. We'll start with Purple. Go around like we have been. What did you think, Purple?
I thought it was consistently a good season. I think season 3 was a great kind of bookend. It kind of carried on the strength from season 2 and 1. If they keep the writers, I can't wait for season 4. Out of 10, I would give it a 9. I think, as you say, some of the characters fell a little bit flat, especially Robbie. And other than, I really didn't like Dimitri until he got his kind of redemption. But I thought his character was kind of dragged out a little bit. He was just getting a little bit kind of tiresome, always complaining, always kind of not listening to what was being told to him. But it was a great season. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I can't wait to watch it again.
Bill.
Yeah, I enjoyed this season. For me, between scale of 1 and 10, I give it probably a 7. Because some characters left the show, and I don't like their character arc and where they're going. But it's overall, it's going to be intriguing to see season 4 come along. They stay the path, the course, and season 4. Looking forward to it.
Paulie.
Yeah, I give it a strong B for sure. Especially if season 1 was an A. And season 2 may be an A-, B+. This is a good B.
Mexican Iron Man.
Ouch, these guys are tough graders. Look, I'm going to grade this against the rest of what we're getting right now in terms of entertainment. I constantly, every week of every month over the last year or two, have found it harder and harder to find something good, whether it's Amazon or Netflix or whatever the flying hell. It's getting harder and harder for me to find something that's new that I like to watch. And I find myself, boss, increasingly rewatching old stuff or going to something old that I hadn't seen before. For example, as you know, I'm tearing through the Clone Wars. I'm going to give this a solid 8.5 out of 10, maybe a 9 out of 10, because I think they did a phenomenal job working as a team. These three guys are a fantastic creative room. In my way, where I see things is they creatively as a team are working really well together, similar to how I think some of the creative teams in Next Generation, DS9, and other great properties work together versus how things happen now in Hollywood.
Okay. Air some chaos.
I think I'm gonna have to go with like an 8.5. Of course, I was just riding the hype, kind of really excited. Just the love for it, and there is a different watching method that I took than the rest of y'all did. So hearing y'all's point of view on that, it's like y'all definitely have some points. So I was gonna give it like a 9. I'm gonna dock half a point because Robbie was pretty flat. And there was some filler. Like, now that I'm thinking about it, there was no reason for a lot of those like prison scenes or juveniles, whatever you want to call it, because it didn't go anywhere. You could have cut probably half of them, and it would have ended up in the same place regardless. And I mean, there's so much that I'm probably going to think of a lot more things to say after this stream's over because there's so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's so much to go over and so much that I enjoyed. I think I'm going to have to go at 8.5. I hope they keep this up. I hope it being on Netflix. I'm worried that they filmed this without the Netflix money and stuff, and then this is now going to be Netflix, and I think we all know what Netflix likes to bring sometimes to shows. I don't want it to lose its soul just because it's on a bigger platform in season 4. That's the only thing I'm worried about. So.
I'm gonna have to. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give this an 8.9, and it gets the 0.9 for 2 reasons. One, I love the fact that they went to Okinawa. I love the fact that they went to Okinawa. He goes back to the village. He sees Kumiko. There's all of that history from Karate Kid 2 because Karate Kid 2 was my favorite back in the day. And it was the one that it was different than 1. I watched the hell out of 1 more than any other one, but 2 was he goes to Okinawa, he meets Kumiko, the bar, when they're in that bar and he breaks the ice. I thought that was the coolest shit I'd ever seen like a karate guy do. When Miyagi comes in is like I back him, Sato. I have the money. You're gonna break 6. And Daniel's like, there ain't no fucking way I can't break 6. He's like, no, we meditate and then you break 6.
And you remember Loki, Sato saw them do it in the bar and he gives that moment of recognition. That was just killer.
Yeah.
Man. Woo.
Yeah. Yeah. And the fact that they touched on that, and I love Tori. I love Tori in this season. I really did. She's the mean girl that is like, I'm gonna keep coming, and I'm gonna keep coming, and I'm not gonna stop. I'm the fucking Terminator. I'm gonna fuck you up, and I'm gonna screw your whole life up, and I'm not gonna stop. And there's nothing you can do about it.
You know why you like that character? Because she reminds you of Lupina.
Oh, that's it.
It's possible.
Obviously.
Lupina. I don't know who that is.
That's Mexican Iron Man's Puerto Rican ex-girlfriend. And a $2 super chat from Mark the Infinitely Tired. Yeah, you never heard about her, Paulie?
No, man.
Okay, so we're doing Morning as a Mischief one morning, and
Sorry.
Lori Roberts is giving Mexican Iron Man a hard time, saying she's gonna call ICE, and in walks Lupina, and she has this throwdown with Mexican Iron Man, and
something about child support I haven't paid, and I don't know, and whether or not 2 of her kids are biologically mine or not, and me going off and flirting with women in the United Kingdom and leaving behind my obligations in the U.S. Crazy stuff that would never happen to me.
Yeah, nothing. We have no evidence of any of that.
Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 shows you missed, Paulie. You got to go back and rewatch.
This is like
Apparently.
yeah, it's like early days.
And a $2 super chat from Mark Dambley Tire. Does Mexican Iron Man have a Fanta belt?
Son of a.
Don't you?
Would someone with a wrench please time Mark out, please?
You have a
Please.
wrench.
No, but I'll time you out again.
Boom.
What?
You know, we didn't mention at all was Amanda, and her character was really great this year.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
it
Should I be
was.
third favorite?
I mean, like,
Yeah,
totally forgot that. Totally.
yeah.
What a
How?
queen.
What does it say? What does it say for this time and everything that's going on when we can have a show that has a bunch of kick-ass women and we're not like quick shoving it down our throats? Why? Because they're not, none of them are like, we're stunning and brave. They're all kick-ass women. They're all kick-ass women that aren't, it's not shoved down your throat. You will respect these kick-ass women. No, they're just kick-ass and they don't take any shit.
And they're all very different. They all
Yes.
have their own character story. I mean, they're all very different, but yeah, no, you're right. It's, because she was kind of like a nothing, not a nothing character for the first 2 seasons, but she really
always ticked off with Daniel. Always ticked
yeah,
off.
kind of playing that note. And now it's just like
She's like an actual wife. Like they figured out what an actual wife is like. Thank God. Thank you, Hollywood. You finally figured it out. Well done.
Yeah, because she's like, okay, you need to stop with the karate, Daniel, and you need to come back to work. Daniel, you're focusing too much on karate. You need to come back to work. Daniel, your karate has almost destroyed our business. You need to come back to work. But then she meets Kreese, and she's like, kick his fucking ass, baby. You know?
well, why? Why? She had that great, because she was scolding Sam, but then she had that great moment in the hospital.
Yep.
Like, oh shit, I'm gonna, I don't give a shit who you are, Kreese. Smack.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then he gets a restraining order on her. That was
Yeah, and then he was like, "Oh, but I'm this poor thing, and I can't do anything." It's like, "Chris, shut up, sit down,
She
down.
I also loved the way that she was so welcoming of Ali coming back into Daniel's life, because that could have gone terribly
Oh
badly.
yeah, I was hoping. I was like, Johnny, don't fuck it up with Miguel's mom, and don't have Amanda be that jealous bitch. You know what I mean? That it's always like in Hollywood where it's like the wife is always that one like jealous of anything that also is a woman in a guy's life, especially an ex.
Right. Like how Purple
Yeah.
is with me and any other lady. Yeah.
No,
Exactly.
okay.
But
Anyway,
it's so it's so you're right, because Purple, it's so easy. They could have gone so many ways with that encounter, and that's usually the way that it does go. It's like, come on, let's go have a drink together and let's talk about these men. And then for Allie to come back and say, "There's your truth, and then there's the truth."
That's right. That's
That's
right.
great.
And very, to me, that was so very anti-SJW, because you hear the SJWs all the time saying this, believe my truth, this is my truth. No, they're like she said, there's your truth, and then there's the truth, and the truth is you two fuckers are exactly alike.
That was great.
And there's more in common than there is any differences you have. There's more in common with you than any differences you have.
And to bring her in towards the end of the season, Loki, her device is basically like she's playing catch up on what we've already seen. So you're just like,
Yeah, but it had to happen to bring those two fucking guys together and finally go, yeah, we're a lot alike. Because there was always that thing in the background. Whenever you talk to anybody about Karate Kid, you had the people that were like, yeah, Daniel was the victim, but there was also another side that always believed Daniel was the one who was the bully. Daniel was the one acting like a punk ass bitch. And Kreese and Johnny was the one that was wronged. Daniel came in on his girlfriend. Daniel sucker punched him on the beach. Daniel did the water thing when Johnny was rolling the
Yep.
quote number. You
Yep.
got the number ready yet, Johnny? I'm working on it, man.
Mhm.
It
That was a very small one, by the way. It was a very weak game.
and it was one of those divides that you always had, that people always had, and the fact that they brought that to life in Cobra Kai. That's both perspectives. You're finally getting Johnny's perspective. So and yeah,
Well, that was the shtick of the first season, right? That was the real.
Yeah.
you
yeah,
know.
that was is what they talked about at conventions. See, Ralph
Right.
Ralph Macchio never like took to being Daniel until what it was like 5 years ago, a couple years before Cobra Kai actually happened. There's even a movie where someone, hey, it's the Karate Kid, and he literally is a drunk piece of shit that like kicks the shit out of this guy for calling him the Karate Kid. And he's like screaming at him, "That's not who I am," and "Fuck that movie," and da da da. And it's like Ralph Macchio, and that's how he felt. And then he talks about it. He goes, I always hated that. That's how I was defined, but it's an honor. It is an honor.
Well,
It's like,
I'm wondering when that.
Hold on, Paulie. Let me go this. I'm sorry, but I just wanted to say. I mean, the lore, the relevance of this lore lived on throughout one of the most popular series in TV history, which is How I Met Your Mother.
Yes.
I mean, that kept this thing alive and funny, and the whole retro inverted sort of universe about Johnny. I mean, God, that kept that going for 8 or 9 years. I mean, that's a decade.
I never
Wait,
saw that
what?
show.
Wait, How I Met Your... I watched that
Yeah.
entire damn thing. Hated the ending, but like I watched the whole thing. What?
There are at least a half dozen, probably up to 10. There's between 6 and 10 references in that episode about the Karate Kid and how oh my God, his character's name. Oh my God, how the hell am I blanking?
Loki, going back to what you said really quick about Ralph Macchio, was this before or after his appearance on Entourage, where he appeared as himself?
It was before that.
Remember that appearance?
Yes.
Yeah, that was great. That was pretty cool. That makes sense. It's before, because that's great that he's come to a place of peace with being the Karate Kid. Yeah.
Yeah. He hated it for decades. He hated it until he finally no. It's an honor that so many people looked up to this character.
You know who else was like that
character
that we forget about? Shatner about Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
Or Leonard Nimoy about Spock. He had those two books.
I am not Spock, and then I am Spock. Yeah. Nimoy hated that everybody loved him for Spock. He was like, I'm so many other things besides Spock.
Both those guys were like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, great show, Loki.
Thank you guys so very much for being here. Thank you, chat, for hanging out with us for over an hour as we have talked season 3 of Cobra Kai. I want to thank my panel. I want to thank Purple Valkyrie. I want to thank Jedi Bill, the guy who runs the soup every night at midnight. I want to thank Paulie, the leader of Latino Slant, the man with the plan, the guy who's come on the scene and just rocked it from day one. Mexican Iron Man, Mexican Iron Wheelie.
Feel free to search for something nice to say about me. That's great, boss. Thanks.
Well, that was kind of funny how he really bolstered me up, and then we have Mexican Iron Man.
Yeah, this one. Anyway, moving on.
And
okay, well, hey, Paulie, welcome to Valhalla.
All right, brother. I got love for you.
It was like I used to get treated like you too at one point. It's okay.
And Earths of Chaos. Thank you guys so very much for being here today. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Thank you.
It has been a real treat. Do any of y'all have anything going on this weekend?
Yes. Oh, you want to?
Ladies first. Ladies first.
Yes.
Ladies first.
So tomorrow I'm bringing it back. After Discord and Delight starts again for like the first time in actually like a month. Because December was crazy and the beginning of January was insane. And Project Storytime, Loki and I will be covering a video titled, what was it specifically? It was like, why Lord of the Rings is bad.
So yeah, why Lord of the Rings sucks. That's the video.
Oh my God, when is that happening?
So it's happening at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Today?
No, on Saturday.
Okay.
So that's what's happening. Oh yeah, it's gonna be glorious. So if y'all want to just come to that, that'd be cool. So that's what.
Purple, what do you got going on this weekend?
We've got a show in a little less than an hour. We're doing a pop culture roundup, just going over a few of the biggest stories that have gone on this week with Sammy, and maybe something going on Sunday. Hopefully.
Oh, something Sunday. How mysterious.
I know.
Dun dun dun.
So mysterious. Jedi Bill, you got anything going on this weekend, bro?
I got another fantastic episode of The Soup later tonight at 11 p.m. Central. That's my time.
Awesome. Paulie, what you got going?
Got a lot, bro. Got a lot. We're almost up to 500 subscribers, 484. Thank you guys so much. I love each and every one of you guys.
Yes, Paulie, yes.
Hell, man.
I love you all to death, each and every one of you guys. We got a lot of entertainment. Tomorrow, The Slanted Yeti, where we talk about bad movies and bad attitudes. Bam.
That was like the most white thing I've ever seen you do. Just saying.
That was what?
That was the most white thing I've ever seen you do.
Oh, this?
Like the very awkward game sign. Just
You know, Eris, I'm getting a lot out of this hour spent with you. I'm seeing a lot of your white liberalism coming out.
Oh yes, it's very.
And you know, you're putting me and Mexican Iron Man in my place, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm a white woman. That's my job.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Damn, Mexican Iron Man. We're
Got a couple
moving
things.
on. Moving on.
I got okay. Well, couple things. Sunday night, I'll be appearing with Cardinal Sin on Into the Fringe, his new show. So we'll see how that goes. He's going to be doing some paranormal stuff, and he wants to be. He's invited me to be a guest. And then tomorrow night, we have everybody's invited to the 15,000 sub party that I'll be exec producing for Echo Base Network. Saturday night at 6:30 is the pre-show. 7:00 Central is when we go live, and we've got booked Star Wars Theory and Robert Meyer Burnett and potentially 2 to 4 other superstars from the fandom Menace as part of it. And we certainly hope, Loki, you are a great friend of Coach and Nick, and they really hope that you'll be there, as well as everybody else is invited. But they really want to bring you on when we'd love to bring you on, sir, at the beginning when Robert Meyer Burnett and Star Wars Theory are there. So if you can make time, we'd be honored to have you.
Yeah, I'll be there. Definitely. I love my brothers over at Echo Base. I've been there since the very beginning, since they first started. I would love to be there.
Thank you. It'll be an honor to have you, sir. Thank you.
All right, guys. Cobra Kai season 3 was good. We will catch you guys later. Don't forget about all those awesome things going on this weekend. Everybody have a great one. We will catch you next time.
Bye, everybody. Have a good weekend.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.